just gonna, no, okay. Oh, no, okay, alright, okay, excuse me. Big boy coming through, okay. Alright, so in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about this computer right here. So a run through of what's inside this computer, so it's all about specs. But I'll let you know about what's coming up on Monday towards the end of the video. So in the past, I've been editing on a MacBook Pro 13-inch late 2011, and it worked pretty well for me until this year, when I started doing more client-based work. I need a beefier machine, right? And I love Apple, but the thing is, they're just so darn expensive for what you're getting out of it. So I decided to just bite the bullet and transfer over to PC so that I can actually have a more beefier machine to be able to edit 4K. I want to get into more 3D work, so the graphics card that's in here should be able to get me by it. The price for this build is around $1,400. My maximum range for price was about $1,500. So I'll be letting y'all know what are inside this component right now after I clean my mess up. Alright, okay, so you can't see my head. Hi. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna move it over here a little bit. So first up, let's talk about the brain of the computer, the processor, right? So we're rocking the Intel Core i7-6700K, so the unlocked version, so that I can be able to overclock this in the future. I've actually overclocked it already. So right out of the box, the Intel Core i7 processor was rocking a 4.2 megahertz. I've actually overclocked it to a 4.5. For some reason, I can't go up to 4.6 because it keeps crashing, so I'm leaving it at 4.5. So the reason why I went with a higher end processor is because of Premiere Pro. If it was just purely gaming, I would be fine with an i5, but I need a higher end processor to be able to use the necessary component to be needed for Premiere Pro. So that's why I went with a higher end processor instead of a lower end. I mean, I could have got a 6850 or something, but I was way out of my price range. Alright, next up, let's go talk about second most expensive component in the computer, which is the graphics card. So right here, boom, we're rocking a, I'm still nervous on camera. So we're rocking an Asus GeForce GTX 1070 overclock edition right here. And so a little disclaimer, I don't know that much about computer. This was my first build, and I don't really know, like, I haven't overclocked it or anything. I just knew I wanted a higher end graphics card to be able to do some 3D work and some simulations and all that. So I wanted to go with a higher end graphics card, but not too expensive where it's like where I've started doing diminishing return for myself. And so I could have gone with 1080, but it was out of my price range, so below that, 1070. So the cream on top for this graphics card is that it is VR ready. So if I ever want to go into virtual reality, I have the components for it. I am trying to do like a half and half type of thing with this computer. I'm trying to edit primarily, but I also want to game with this computer because I've never done PC gaming before, so I want to dip my feet in that too as well. Alright, so that's done. Damn. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the motherboard, right? So we're rocking a Gigabyte Z170X Gaming 5, and like I said, I am not a computer enthusiast or anything. I'm beginner and I am learning still. And so I just want a motherboard that will be compatible with my processor, with everything. So I went to a PC part picker, recommended with 5 stars and all that. So I was like, oh, why not? 3.1 USB, DDR4 RAM, and all the latest components are within this motherboard. It is ATX form factor as well. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about drive. Mechanical drive and an SSD. So the SSD is for my operating systems and my applications. I was hoping to get another SSD to be able to RAID 0 them, but I am only using one at the moment. I am trying to figure out if I can RAID 0 them even after I downloaded OS and all my applications. I'm curious. It is a Samsung 850 EVO. Alright, so that's done. So with the mechanical drive, it is a Seagate 3TB, and this is just for all my assets like muzzle flashes, projects and all that. It is slower than SSD, but more storage for less price. That's it. Talking about the CPU, what cools it is the Cooler Master Hyper 212 LED edition. And it was actually, the weird thing is when I went there, it was the same price. So the LED version and the non-LED version were both the same price. The reason why I got this Hyper 212 was because of a lot of reviews were really good with this product, but also didn't need to spend the extra money for a liquid cooling system because I wasn't planning on overclocking it. But after readings about this, it was safe for me to overclock it a little bit with just this instead of a liquid cooling system. But in the future, I might upgrade to a liquid cooling system, but for now, this is working beautifully for me. Yeah! Because the motherboard does not have built-in Wi-Fi, I had to get the TP-Link right here. Yeah, I don't know what double band means, but it had good reviews. I am so dumb. Second to last thing, everything that is being powered is with this power supply. It is the Corsair CX750M. 750 is kind of a little overpowered because it's only pulling probably 400 watts, maybe 500 the most, but I just want to be safe and get the 750 watt just in case if I want to overclock it more, if I can figure out how to overclock it more. So all the components will be within this chassis right here. It is a Corsair 500R. It was actually given to me by a close friend. He said the reason why he got it was because of all the fans that's built in, and I can show you right now. So cable management isn't the best. This is my first one. So you can see that the fan does come with, let's see, one on here. So 1, 2, and then 2 more in the front. So a total of 4 fans built into this case. So extra cooling. I fixed some of this wiring issues, but yeah. And the added bonus is this thing lights up. So I made this video because I was excited to be building my first PC, and it was a great experience. The part of it is a learning experience, and I loved it. I highly recommend, if you were thinking of purchasing a PC, then I would recommend you building it yourself. Now, it was a big learning curve. It was a very big learning curve for me. My close friend who let me use his case actually helped me with it. It took us together, so we started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We didn't finish till probably midnight. And it was a lot of things, a lot of kinks that we had to work out and all that. But I had extreme fun with it, and I loved it when it turned on. So in this video, it was just all about the components within the computer and what it was, what I had with it. But on Monday, I'm actually posting out a video about my experience going to Micro Center, which is the computer part I went to, and the experience of buying all the components, and some of my experience of going through the process of building it, and like how tiring it was. So if you want to check that out, it will be posted on Monday. Alright, so that's probably all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I am still very nervous in front of the camera. I promise you I'll get better at it the more I do it, of course. But that's all I want to tell y'all. I just want to go through all these components because I love tech. I just love computer components. It's fun for me, you know. And on top of, you know, filmmaking, editing, I love computers and things. It gives me a reason to show off these components and touch the boxes. It's amazing. That's all I want to tell y'all. So check out Monday if y'all want to watch the experience buying components for the computer and building it. And so yeah, it should be fun. It should be really fun. Alright, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see y'all on Thursday. Now I gotta put everything back.